All right, Joe, what a great night here on June 1st here at the OSWA. What'd you think?
Oh, man, PK, I tell you something. What a way to start off the month of June. Man, an exciting show, exciting crowd, an exciting building. It was so unbelievable. And, you know, you just did a pretty decent job. I just might actually pay you what you're worth.
Wow, that's great. But anyways, I was surprised, you know, because I'll tell you something. With the new time change at 7 o'clock, I was concerned that our fan base might be a little low. But I'll tell you something. Our fans came out for this show, and they came out in spades.
Oh, my gosh, I'll tell you something. These fans are energetic. They are out there. They're ready. And I'll tell you something. They're ready for a hot summer.
Exactly. And what did you think about that first match? Jake Hughes versus the Squires. Not just the Squire.
The Squire?
No, the Squires.
I don't know what you're talking about, PK. I saw one Squire in there. It was Jake Hughes versus the Squire.
I don't know, you didn't see the interchanging between Squire 1 and Squire 2 going on there? It was more like a handicap match for Jake Hughes.
Let me tell you something. It's not my job to see who goes in and who goes out. It's my job to call a fair and just match.
And I'll tell you something, Joe. I'll tell you something. It did end properly because Jake Hughes was able to drop Squire number 1, who was actually the legal man in this match, and was able to get the pin. I thought that was pretty great.
Well,
I would have hated him to have pinned the wrong Squire.
You know, I don't know what you're talking about. You know what? The other Squire, he was out in the ring doing his job, outside the ring doing his job. You know, you're just blowing smoke here.
I mean, Joe, when he hit that Squire with the sidewalk slam, I would have loved to have been like a fly in that ring just to see that kid's look on his face. Well, of course, he's wearing his mask, so all you'd see was his eyeballs bugging out when he hit the match. Hit the mat, excuse me. But anyways, it was a great match, and Jake Hughes, you know, he's our former Ultimate Champion. I think he's on his way back. Anyways, then all of a sudden, you know, we get our 24/7 championship, and we saw the video beforehand.
Oh,
you saw that
gosh.
thing, man. That thing was being passed around more than a cigarette amongst a bunch of high school freshmen.
Boy, ain't that the truth. You know, that was all in one night, too. I saw like 25 different title changes in one night.
Can you imagine Clint Eller picking up that phone again? If I was him, I would invest in a good text messaging service because I would hate to have to answer that phone. But anyway, so Clint goes to interview Carr, the champion, and Cody Fairview, the former champion, comes out.
Let me tell you something. Let me ask you something, PK. How is it that amongst all these great wrestlers here, it's a car, an inanimate object that wins a 24/7 title?
Hey, come on, it was a killer car. Remember that movie's from the 70s? Come on, it can happen, right? Especially nowadays. No, not Herbie Goes Bananas, the other killer car, okay? Anyways, you know, you never know. So anyway, here comes Cody Fairview, interrupting an interview, but, you know, he comes out, takes out the headrest, and bam, it's the headrest of Carr versus Cody Fairview in the ring. And man, that headrest gave a hell of a match, didn't you think? Took him down a couple times, a lot of bit of back and forth. Also an elbow drop, boom, by Cody Fairview.
Yeah, I'll tell you
something. Cody Fairview is now the 24/7, well, at that point was the 24/7 champion.
Absolutely. I'll tell you something, you know, one thing you always know about Cody Fairview, you never turn your back on him. And I don't care if you're his brother, you're his mom, you're his grandma, whatever, he will take a championship once he gets the opportunity.
And of course, you know, the show can never let anybody have the spotlight but themselves.
Are you
So
serious?
they come out and start interrupting the victory celebration moment for him, for Cody Fairview, and they come out and they start fighting him.
Well, you know, you got to understand something about the show. The show are the stable of champions. That's what I call them. They are the stable of champions. And they want to get out there and claim what was theirs. And that is another championship belt. And don't you forget that, PK.
You must be getting a stipend somewhere. I have no idea where you're getting this kind of information from.
I'm just calling a spade a spade.
Okay. That's your opinion. Once again, delusions of grandeur. We got vacation for that. But anyways, so they come out and all of a sudden they start whipping on Cody Fairview, right?
Well, of course.
And who comes out? C.C. Devlin, probably the most experienced wrestler in the OSWA. And all of a sudden this newcomer comes out, Eli Daniels. And of course, you know, Zach Blade, he runs out real quick.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't running out real quick. What are you talking about? What kind of match are you seeing? Zach Blade is a warrior, and he's ready for the fight. Zach Blade is a fighter.
So Zach Blade comes out there. Anyway, so they come out there and they challenge him to a 6-man tag. The Show versus Cody Fairview, C.C. Devlin, and now the newcomer, Eli Daniels.
Absolutely. I'll tell you something. We'll talk about that match later, but that was an incredible 6-man tag match.
And then once again, you know, we get Brazilla versus Cody McCauley.
I tell you something. Every time I see Brazil wrestle, he just gets better and better.
Definitely. And I have to admit, Cody McCauley the same thing.
Oh, Cody McCauley, what a great man. You know, he's only 15 years old, and he is out there wrestling amongst men. He's a warrior, he's a soldier, and he's moving up in the world. You know, I even heard, you know, it's the end of the school year.
Yeah.
I heard that in his yearbook, he was voted most likely to succeed.
Well, Joe, I'm a little disturbed that a grown man your age would be looking at a yearbook, but it's true. He's done very well.
No, wait, hold on here. I wasn't looking at, that's just what I heard from the school.
Are you sure? Okay, he's in there, Facebook troller. But anyways, so Cody Fairview did give a good match, though, man. He hit Brazilla with the Eclipse and gave him the old 1-2-3 count for the pin.
Absolutely, my man.
And then, of course, you know, we had the tag team come up, High Impact, you know, versus Taco and Chimichanga, the newcomer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, I didn't really know what to make of this match. You got High Impact, the ultimate crowd pleasers, and then you got Chimichanga and Taco Grande, who wrestled against one another last show. And what was it? It was a love fest. They're all hugging and kissing one another. You don't do that in the world of professional wrestling. You're here to fight.
I think it's a great show of sportsmanship. But of course, you know what happens. You know, it was funny because 2 weeks ago, if you remember, during the match, Jamar tries to tag in Will. Will falls down. So I'm thinking, wow, he fell. Must have been an accident.
Oh, of course.
But then tonight, what do you see? You see Will, he's taking down Taco, he's taking down Jimmy, then he gets Jamar in the Samoan Slam, takes him down,
Absolutely.
and then runs out of the ring.
Yeah, and I couldn't be more proud of Will.
Why is that something to be proud of, Joe?
Because that's why he's finally standing up on his own, finally getting rid of all the garbage out of his life, and finally shooting towards victory.
Do you remember how High Impact got started? It's because Deadly Forgiveness attacked Will Caution during one of their matches. And Jamar came out and defended him, and they formed the tag team. So Will has now turned the back on the guy that saved his bacon and actually helped train him here in the OSWA.
Are you serious? You know what? Yeah, I'm glad that he saved him. Whatever. The point is he was weighing him down. And in the world of professional wrestling, business is business. And he was weighing him down, so he had to take care of Jamar and get rid of him, and now he can move on to greater heights.
But I have to admit, it was very classy. After Taco and Chimmy win, they helped Jamar get up.
Oh, hold
and
on
really
here.
displayed some good sportsmanship.
I say it was cheating. You know what they did? You get these guys, Taco Grande and Chimichanga, they're just a bunch of crowd pleasers. Let me tell you something. They took advantage of a beaten down man. They could have done the sportsmanship thing. They could have just walked away. But no, they took advantage of a man who was beaten down and pinned him 1, 2, 3. What kind of wrestlers are they? What kind of men are they?
Hey, Joe, wrestling is wrestling. You always say, and that's what they did. They had to handle business. Somebody had to win that match. You know what we're going to do? Wait till everybody recovers, and all of a sudden 3 weeks later we continue the match? No, if they got a match, they got to finish it. And they did it, and they did it in classic style. After they got the pin, they showed some great sportsmanship. My hat is off to Taco and Jimmy and to Jamar Anderson, but my hat is on for Will Caution, because that guy has turned against a man that really tried to help him in this business.
We know what PK, say what you want, but I'll tell you something, we're going to see even greater things out of Will now.
I enjoyed the next one, though. For the corporate championship, we had Chad Silva versus Wasabi. This was Chad Silva's first individual wrestling match.
Absolutely. I'll tell you something. Now we know why Zach Blaine ditched him. Because he could not get the upper hand on Wasabi.
Actually, it was a good match, and I have to admit, Wasabi did have the upper hand most of the time, but he was bringing it. Chad was bringing it to Wasabi.
Whoa.
And how does it end? When the show comes out, here comes Zach Blaine. He delivers a swinging neck breaker to Chad Silva. Wasabi was out. He wakes up. He sees Chad Silva lying down. He's probably thinking to himself, hey, man, dude, I guess I did knock him out. And he pins him.
Well, I'll tell you the reason why. Because the show knows that the show must go on. And they knew that Chad Silva was beat already, so they decided to go out there and just help finish the job.
Okay, Joe, what kind of stipend or dividend are you getting from these people? Because I cannot believe how much you love these guys. The show.
We just have a lot in common. We're about championships. We're about victories.
Okay, well, you're also about a lot of bowl. But anyways, now we're going on to our six-man tag team. CC Devlin, the newcomer, Eli Daniels, and then now Cody Fairview versus the show.
Absolutely.
Great match, great match.
Definitely.
I mean, it was a very physical match. You know, we saw some good wrestling in there.
Absolutely. You know, I got to tell you, though, CC, I mean, he's a great wrestler, but with all that experience, he's relying on those sophomoric antics, biting people on the rear end. He kissed me. I couldn't. That was just disgusting.
Hey, Joe, it's been a while since you've been kissed. I thought you would have been happy by it.
Oh, no, not by something like that.
Something like that? This guy's a veteran, Joe. You should be honored. Anyways, but it was a great match, and I'll tell you something. Once again, we had a change of the 24/7 championship, didn't we?
Yes, we did. We did have a change in the 24/7 championship when Zach Blaine came out and took care of Cody Fairview.
And, dude, he hit him with that single leg Boston Crab. Cody tried to fight off, but he already had that wounded leg from earlier in the exchange when the show came out and interrupted his celebration. And unfortunately, it was just too much pressure, and he had to tap. But I'll tell you something, Cody Fairview, definitely a great wrestler. He definitely, brought it to tonight. But hey, Zach Blaine was able to get him in the end.
I will tell you, Cody Fairview's a great wrestler, but one thing, like I said before, you can't mess with the show.
And what I thought was real interesting, though, is here he is. He's now got the championship. So here comes Chad Silva. Zach Blaine, I've never seen his eyes get bigger, man. He went from like this to like this, because here comes Chad Silva, and he starts getting the 1, 2, 3. He runs out of the ring, gives him the 1, 2, 3, keeps pounding on and pounding. I wish we would have had, and we don't have cameras in our locker room for the privacy of our wrestlers, but I'm sure that beating continued. We don't know if he's the 24/7 champion or not, but I'll tell you something. I can see why Zach Blaine ran, because he is definitely scared of Chad Silva.
That's where you're thinking wrong. I don't think he was running away. From what I heard, he was running to fight another fight. And then he was going to turn around and take care of Chad Silva. That's for darn sure. I'll tell you something, Zach Blaine's a warrior. You can't badmouth him, or else he'll come after you, PK.
I doubt he will, because he wants to fight people in a group, not one-on-one. I think I'm pretty safe. Anyways, then we had the defending the Ultimate Championship.
Oh my gosh, Z, what a scary champion.
And I'll tell you something, I will say this, I'm not a huge fan of Z, but this guy is definitely a fighting champion, and he never passes up an opportunity to defend his championship.
He's big, he's strong, he's agile, and he's out to hurt people.
For how big he is, he's very good. And Chris Damien, he had that injured shoulder, and he was really, he was holding his own. Chris Damien, former Marine, you can definitely tell that Marine Corps training. He was bringing the fight, but it just wasn't enough. All of a sudden, the Squires from the White Knight come out, the two little skinny guys. They come out. He takes them both down with a double clothesline. And all of a sudden, this huge Squire comes out. Looks like the other two put together.
Absolutely.
And all of a sudden, he goes in there, rips out. He rips off the mask, and who was it?
Jake Hughes.
You remember.
And you know why? Because he's jealous.
Why is Jake Hughes jealous?
Because he doesn't have his shot anymore. He's no longer #1. He's just jealous because Chris Damien is #1 and he's not anymore. He's no longer on top.
Well, let me tell you something, Joe. I've actually got a really good opportunity for the both of us. I have Jake Hughes here, and we're going to ask him about that. Hey, Jake, why don't you come over here?
Oh, hey, Jake, come on in, buddy. How you doing?
Hey, guys.
How's it going? Doing fantastic. Why don't you tell us about what happened?
Well,
because we're all kind of wondering why you ran out there. You're not that kind of guy, dude.
Now, with all due respect, I just think that maybe there's a problem with jealousy there.
it's nothing about jealousy. The last show, I didn't have enough what it takes to take down the White Knight, so my OSWA contract was signed over to him. And part of the stipulation is that if I don't do exactly what he outlines for me, then I will be barred from OSWA for life, and I won't be able to wrestle. And the OSWA is my home. I'm going to do whatever it takes to stay here, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for Chris Damien, and I think that once I get the chance to sit down, talk to him man to man, he'll be understanding. He'll know why I did it.
Well, I hope that's the case, because I'll tell you something. There's been very few times when Joe and I have been speechless at the same time, because usually he's got plenty to say. But when that mask came off and it was you, we were both like, we had what we call a futaba moment, like, what do we say? We just couldn't believe it. And there you are. And I'll tell you something. I knew there had to be a backstory to it. Joe thought it was a thing of jealousy. Once again, I've tried to elevate him above his nature, but it's just not working. I'm working with the psychiatrist to get that worked out.
I'm just trying to call facts here.
But,
I'm very just, I'm very fair.
Well, the plain and simple fact of the matter is this. The White Knight tells me what I have to do, and I have to do it if I want to stay here at home in the OSWA.
Well, I'll tell you something, Jacob. Let me tell you something right now. Under the tutelage of the White Knight, I see you going very far. He knows your skills, he knows your strengths. I think it was a smart move that he is taking you under his wing.
You know what, Jake, I just want to point out one thing that Joe said, and that was the whole time he said that, he couldn't look at you in the eye. I want to thank you for coming here.
What? I'm just trying to talk to my fans here.
And you have a good night. And
Utmost respect, Jacob.
I hope you and Chris Damien can work it out, okay?
I have nothing but nice things to say about
you.
Jake.
You said you had nothing nice to say about Jake Hughes. Usually your first response is the most correct.
No, hold on.
But anyways,
no, what I meant was I have nothing but nice things to say about Jake Hughes. You know that, Jake Hughes, right?
Yeah, okay. Anyways.
Once again, he's interrupting.
Well, fans, it was a great night here at the OSWA. To catch up on all the entertainment, and to catch up with us, you can go to oswaentertainment.com. You can go to our Facebook at OSWA Entertainment as well. We got a Twitter feed at OSWA Entertainment as well. We look forward to seeing. Don't interrupt me.
Well, I'm just saying, we got a red hot summer coming up. In fact, it is so hot, I had to take off my nice Italian-made suit and dress into some of my other expensive wear so I can just kind of cool off for this summer.
Hey, by the way, I looked at your suit, and even though it says VD on the inside, there's a tag that says Made in China. We'll see you all in a couple of weeks. Thanks for your time, and we look forward to being here with you in a couple of weeks.